Hey everyone, so I just wanted to make a quick video here just kind of comparing some of the video output options that you can get from your Wii when you're plugging into an HD TV. And I guess these options, what's available to you will vary obviously on what kind of connections your TV has, and if your TV is newer, you actually may not have most of these connections we'll be using today. But yeah, anyway, the connections we'll be trying is first just your regular old composite cables that come with the Wii out of the box. That's probably what most people have. And yeah, they're fine. Not too great on an HD TV, but on a CRT they actually work really well. But yeah, that's not the point of this video though. We're going to be testing on HD flat screen TV. And then the next step from that would be over here, S-Video. Yeah, these ones are pretty uncommon. I think I actually had to import this particular cable from Japan, and it was kind of expensive, so I wouldn't really recommend this unless you're okay with spending some extra money, or if you're looking for a really good connection on an old CRT TV. And then the step up from that are the component cables. These are really easy to find. This particular one that I have, from what I can tell, this is Rocket Fish brand. I don't know if it's going to show up. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I think that these are official Nintendo cables, or at the very least licensed by Nintendo. That's the information I could find just from a quick internet search. But anyway, either way though, they are really high quality. You can tell they're built to last, not like the cheap cables. But I think even cheap Wii component cables, if you have them, are probably okay. And if you do see noise in the image, then maybe think about upgrading. But yeah, so anyway, those are the 3 official options. And then next we have HDMI. So this is a unofficial option. Wii to HDMI. Yeah, so this is just an adapter you can get on AliExpress or Amazon. I'll leave a link to this adapter, an Amazon link to it. And yeah, I think it comes in white and black. You can see here, this is the white color, the white version. Yeah, so anyway, we'll be trying this at the end too. Yeah, so anyway, let's go ahead and try out composite first. Oh, and actually I should mention, I guess there is one other connection we could try, but I don't have the cable for it, and I'm not even sure if Nintendo made an official cable for it, but the RF adapter down here, so if you have a really old TV that only has RF in, yeah, I'm not sure if Nintendo ever made an adapter for that, but anyway, that's not something we'll be trying today. I do have an RF modulator, but it's not an official Nintendo adapter, so yeah, we'll just be skipping over RF for now. Okay, so here are the composite cables. So this would obviously be just 480i, your regular standard definition signal going into this TV. Yeah, right now it doesn't look too bad. Let's go ahead and get into the main menu. Okay, well, I can tell you right now the aspect ratio is off, so I guess this can kind of be seen as a guide on how to set up your Wii to work well on an HD CRT as well. Or, not an HD CRT. I mean, obviously to work this, I guess this video could be on that, but just really any HD TV, that's what I should say. Yeah, HD CRT is actually probably ideal for a Wii, but anyway. Yeah, long story short, if you are using an HD widescreen TV, you're going to want to go into Wii settings here and make sure that your screen, let's see, widescreen settings. Whoops, this is a little tricky because I'm using the classic controller. Okay, so yeah, you're going to want to set this to 16:9 because otherwise you'll be stretching the image, and yeah, everything will just be a little off. So yeah, there we go. Now it looks a lot better. You may not even notice unless you've done a lot of experiments with it. But yeah, anyway, this looks a lot better. So yeah, I mean, it definitely doesn't look bad. I think that this Sony TV actually handles 480i really well, and it might be because it's a bit older. If you have a newer HD TV, it may not handle 480i as well, just because it's, 480i is more and more not being as useful. Now, as I'm moving this around, I am seeing a bit of noise. It is minor, but it is there. So you can see, like, when I select this game, like, look at this blue that's on the top that comes up. So there's little dots in the blue. That is, I'm pretty sure that is from composite video, just combining the color information. Yeah, that's my assumption, just because if you see some of my other videos, I've looked into this before. But anyway, let's switch over to S video and see what that looks like, see if those go away. Okay, and here's S video. And yep, yeah, just as I thought, yeah, it's a lot clearer. So you can see it's just a pure blue instead of having the dots in there. Yeah, I don't know, I'm not sure how well that's showing up on the phone. There's actually like these lines and stuff that you're seeing here in the camera. Those actually don't show up in real life, so I'll just try to explain best what I see in real life. But anyway, this blue border around there is a lot clearer now that we've switched to S video. So yeah, but besides that, S video and composite look pretty similar. Yeah. Anyway, let's actually go into a game and just see what that looks like. Yeah, what kind of prompted me to make this video was my cousins are playing Majora's Mask on their Wii, and they only have component cables, but their TV doesn't accept a component signal, so they're just plugging in the green cable into the composite slot. And yeah, that is only allowing them to play in black and white. So anyway, I just thought I'd do a video on showing the different Wii connections. All right. So yeah. Well, okay. So first off, what I can tell you is that I have it set in widescreen, but it's actually stretching the image on these classic games where these should be in 4:3 mode. I'm not sure if there's a way to change that in the Wii settings, but anyway, I guess it just kind of is what it is. But yeah, anyway, this is S video though, and I actually think this looks really good. And so S video is still going to be 480i. Yeah. But anyway, but now now looking at S video, now let's switch over to component, and we'll still keep it in 480i and just see what that looks like, see if we notice any clarity differences. Okay, here's component. Yeah, I mean, really it looks pretty similar to S video. Yeah, and that's to be expected. Yeah, S video and component are pretty similar. Yeah, if you saw one of my other videos where I was doing comparing S video to component, yeah, the component is pretty similar to S video. Yeah, really the biggest leap is between composite and S video in quality. But yeah, component and S video, there is still a leap there, but it's not nearly as much. And yeah, just kind of looking at this blue here again, yeah, component, yeah, it still looks clear like S video did. And actually, I would say the colors are maybe slightly better now with component. I'm not looking at them side by side, but just from off of memory, the colors look a little bit better, a little brighter, which makes sense. Component breaks the signal into the color signal, it breaks it up into 3 separate wires with, well, I guess brightness, and then 2 component. Anyway, it does math and stuff for the component signal, but yeah, it breaks up the color signal even more, whereas this video just has the color going on one line. So anyway, but yeah, I wanted to go in here because with component though, one thing that definitely does have an advantage over S video is that you can actually set it to be 480p. So if you go into TV resolution in the Wii settings, you can choose enhanced definition TV or HD TV. Obviously this is an HD TV, but yeah, so this will actually switch to 480p. So yeah, you see the lost signal there for a second, and now we're in 480p. So now, yeah, this is a higher resolution. I mean, I guess technically it's the same amount of information. It's just that now instead of an interlace signal, now it's a progressive signal, so it's drawing one complete frame at the same time. And yeah, so why that would be good is that then your TV doesn't have to deinterlace the signal. And when it doesn't have to deinterlace, then, I mean, the advantages of just having a progressive image is, first, there's less lag. So on a digital TV, when it deinterlaces an image, so from composite or S video, or analog RF for that matter, it will usually add like at least double the amount of lag. I mean, I guess it kind of depends on your TV exactly, but yeah, deinterlacing images is a pretty taxing process for digital TVs. And so, yeah, if you can feed it a progressive image of any resolution, that's ideal over a interlaced resolution. I mean, well, at least 480i. I guess technically, if you have like a 1080i native TV, like a plasma, an old plasma, or an HD CRT, then actually sending it an interlaced 1080i resolution would be less lag than some of the progressive scan resolutions. But anyway, that kind of depends on your TV specifically. But either way, 480i will almost always be more laggy on an HD CRT than 480p. So yeah, that's what I want to say with all that stuff. So anyway, that is something that Component does have over Composite or S-Video. Yeah, so that's one reason why to choose progressive. Another reason is because with Composite and S-Video, so with the deinterlacing that the TV has to perform to even show anything on the screen, because these are progressive. I mean, at least this screen in particular is a progressive screen. But yeah, to even show that, so when it deinterlaces the content, it can often depend on the algorithm you use, whether it's bob interlacing or weave or motion adaptive. There'll be different form, like you'll see artifacts like lines and like fast moving objects, which maybe I'll do another video on to show that even more. But anyway, basically there will be interference in the image if you are just plugging in Composite or S-Video, or or like my cousin's just using the green line off a Component. Yeah, that'll still cause the interference, besides robbing you of all the black information, or I mean the color information. So yeah, that's why progressive is better. So yeah, lower lag and fewer artifacts. But yeah, anyway, now I think that this TV is a 1080p screen. That's what I'm thinking. So just kind of looking at this. So even this screen, it's taking the 480p image coming from the component cables and it's upscaling to 1080p. It might be 720, but I think it's 1080p probably. But yeah, so I'm just kind of looking at this, like around here, like there are some sharpening artifacts that are probably a result of this upscaling. So even, this is the bad thing about digital TVs, is that there's always going to be a problem when you're upscaling, unless you're feeding it like a native, 1080p content. Yeah, if there's any upscaling at all involved, whether it's internal inside of the Wii or it's being handled by the TV, which in this case is being handled by the TV, there will always be these ugly artifacts that you can see around places where it just doesn't look sharp. Yeah, so anyway, again, that's one of the advantages of CRTs over that, because they don't do any upscaling. They just display whatever is sent to them. Yeah, which is why computer monitor CRTs are really cool. But anyway, that's a different topic for another video. But yeah, let's just go in here, I guess, and just see what the actual game looks like real quick. I'm gonna pause the video while this is loading. Okay, I think it's almost done. Well, yeah, it's definitely looks sharp. So yeah, on here, yeah, and yeah, I think even like around here, yeah, it looks a little bit better than S-Video, potentially, maybe, and even Component with 480i. So yeah, because this is a progressive image, so yeah, this is definitely the way to go. Now, if your TV doesn't have component inputs on it, like my cousin's TV is, their TV is newer enough that it doesn't even have component. It only has composite and HDMI, and I guess it probably has RF too, but who knows if it has an analog tuner in it. But anyway, that's where this adapter comes in, and this is quite popular. This particular one has really good reviews on Amazon. Again, I bought it on AliExpress, but it's the same thing from what I can tell. Now, I have seen, I don't know if they still make them, but I know a few years ago they made these where they had a little switch on them where you could switch between 1080p and 480p. This one doesn't have that switch on, unfortunately. If you can find one that has that switch, I would maybe recommend getting one of those, but yeah, I'm not sure if they make them anymore. And the only reason I say that is because 480p will then, it does like, so basically this little adapter is going to take the 480p image and it's going to upscale to this, or yeah, to 1080p. So yeah, so now basically instead of the TV doing the upscaling, this adapter is going to do the upscaling, which, maybe it does a better job at upscaling. Not really entirely sure. I guess it probably depends on the brand of TV. Sony generally has really good upscaling algorithms, so yeah, I doubt this adapter does a better job than the Sony TV, but maybe for gaming, maybe it does. Maybe it has less lag. I'm not entirely sure. I won't. Maybe I'll do another video specifically on this where we test the lag and stuff. But anyway, basically, what I'm trying to say is if this did have a switch, then that would be nice, because then if you could switch between 480p and 1080p, then you can decide if you want to let this adapter do the upscaling or if you want your TV to do the upscaling. Plus, it's if you have an older HD TV, then I don't know if this adapter would work on it. Like if you only have a 720p TV, then it may not even work, because if it's outputting 1080p, then that's obviously not going to work on 720p. So anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and try plugging this in and see what it looks like. Okay, all right, there we go. So it's plugged in. You can see I have it here. So yeah, it just plugs into AV port, and then it has an HDMI out on the back. It also has a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack out, which is really nice. Yeah, in case you're like going into a computer monitor or something like that, you need external speakers. So yeah, that's a very nice feature. But yeah, looks really nice right now. Oh, well, actually, there are a few problems here I can see. So yeah, all right. So yeah, so I actually do see some problems here. So there's these lines, interference. This may or may not bug you very much. So there's these round lines that you can see in the camera. That doesn't show up in real life. Oh, and now the other lines actually just went away. Wow, okay. Well, for a second there was some interference where there were some diagonal lines going this way, just like very faint diagonal lines. But they actually have disappeared. So I wonder if it's because I was like moving this or something. Or maybe it's just like first time turned on, having stuff warm up. Oh, there they came back. Yeah, so there's these diagonal lines that are like slowly moving to the right. And now they've just stopped and they're just kind of stationary. You may not even notice it. I think actually when I have the camera farther away, you can kind of see them a bit more. But yeah, anyway. Oh, and there they went. They just kind of disappeared. Oh, and now they're coming back. So anyway, basically there may be diagonal lines there. Now, I am curious though. I want to go in and see if we're in progressive scan mode still, because yeah, and even on this, I don't know. I think component is generally probably better than this cable or this thing, but yeah, I mean it's not bad, and that's the thing. It's not just this. I'm almost positive all these HDMI to or Wii HDMI adapters, they're probably all the same. They look all the same. So yeah, unless you find one of those old ones with the switch I was talking about, but yeah, so I don't know. This may just be a common thing that happens on all of them. I'm not entirely sure. This is the only one I have right now to try. Although I had one of these before, but I don't think it had that, but maybe it wasn't one of the older ones. Okay, yeah, so it is still in 480p. Yeah, 480i should work as well over this adapter. Let's just see if that happens. Okay, yeah, so here's 480i. I'm kind of curious and see if those lines are still there. Let's go back to the screen and see if we still have those diagonal lines. Huh, yeah, I wonder if maybe it's just a 480i thing. You know, I wonder... Yeah, those lines are still slightly there. And then also, like, going over here, showing the blue, it doesn't look as crisp as the component cables looked. So yeah, maybe what I'm guessing is that in these adapters, since they're, just made in China and like AliExpress, they're just making them cheap. Like this one I actually got for a deal for like 99 cents. On Amazon they cost like $8 or $9, $8 to $10. Yeah, I'm almost positive they're exactly the same thing. But anyway, what I'm thinking that they probably do is that I think that they probably use cheaper parts. Like maybe there's something that isn't um, like shielded in there, and so if there's any interference at all, then it, yeah, can have a negative effect on the image quality. But really, it's not that bad, and like, especially like for my cousins, like going from black and white to color, yeah, I would definitely rather play with the interference than playing in black and white. So especially a game like Majora's Mask. But yeah, anyway, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Pretty much everything I want to say in this video. Yeah, so again, I'll leave a affiliate link for that adapter if you want to give it a try in the description. And again, the ones on Amazon, I'll leave you a link to the one on Amazon. Yeah, I mean, they have really good reviews. Seems like a lot of people are really happy with it. So I think that really it's just um, like people that, oh, by the way, this time is not right. I'll have to change that. But anyway, I think it's just people that, like me, like if you really like look really closely at the TV and like really notice the difference, then yeah, you may have a problem with it. But if you don't really look that close, then you probably wouldn't even notice. And actually, it seems like at least on my TV, it kind of goes and comes. So yeah, like right now, I don't see those lines. So anyway, and also I think I mentioned this before in another video I have, but this house that I live in is very old, and so it's like almost 90 years old, and yeah, it's not grounded correctly. Like, even though there's ground, like, yeah, the power is pretty dirty at this house. Yeah, I don't know. We may try to fix it eventually, but anyway, that could also obviously affect your video quality. So yeah. Anyway, that might just be my own problem here, where when I have dirty power going into the console, then it outputs a dirty signal. But yeah, actually, right now it actually looks really good. Yeah, I guess one thing we could try real quick is let's just try a bit of a lag test, like a Mario 64. Yeah, this one should load faster. Yep. Well, I can tell you one thing: you definitely get spoiled when playing on a CRT because, like, you can see all these artifacts around Mario's nose and stuff where there's the jaggies. Yeah, you don't really see that on a CRT. Oh, brother, there's nothing. Okay, well, we'll just kind of look at this. Looks like those lines have... Oh, they were there for a second and then they went away. Yeah, and we're progressive right now, again, so this should give us, in theory, the best video quality and the lowest amount of lag. Those lines could also be from the upscaling, whatever upscaling algorithm this is doing. I'll have to try to see if I can find one of these adapters that has that 480p switch on it, because yeah, that would be nice. The only reason I can imagine that they put that 1080p function in here is because then they can, mark it as it's a full HD solution for your Wii, but really it's not ideal. Well, the lag feels really good. Yeah, I don't feel any lag. Yeah, I feel like I'm able to do a... In fact, I feel like there's less lag using this adapter on the Wii than there was on the Switch Online version of Mario 64, which is kind of funny. Yeah, this actually feels pretty lagless. I'm sure there is some lag, but as far as like perceptible for me, who's not like a speedrunner, it feels really good. So yeah, I would say this adapter feels pretty good without lag. I guess just real quick, let me just plug in the component cables and we'll just test that for lag. Okay, here's the component cables. Yeah, actually, I think that this is a bit less laggy. Well, it's about the same, but maybe slightly less. The image quality definitely is better though. Yeah, there's no more of that interference with the diagonal lines, so yeah. Yeah, so anyway, I would say if you can use component cables, use it. And actually, you know what? I'll put another adapter in the description that I've used before that I actually think works pretty good. Actually, let me just go grab it real quick and I'll show you what that is. Hold on. Okay, so actually, I forgot. So I actually have the opposite of the adapter you need. So yeah, so this is an input HDMI, and then it converts it to component. So yeah, you actually need the opposite. There is an adapter that's basically the same thing. It's just yeah, it does the opposite of what this one does, where it will take HDMI, or sorry, it will take component and convert it to HDMI. I'll still put a link to that. Yeah, it should. I'm pretty sure it's the same company that makes this one. This one works pretty good. So I haven't tried that one specifically, but yeah, this one works good, and that one should work good as well. And also Bob at RetroRGB, he recommends that adapter as well. So yeah, I'll put a link to that one. Yeah, I just can't show you exactly because I don't actually have it. But anyway, it runs off of 5 volts USB, and I actually just plugged it into the back of my Wii, and yeah, it is yeah, it is running it. So yeah, your Wii should be powerful enough to charge it. So that is nice. You can just plug it in the back of your Wii. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it also comes with at least mine came with a power adapter. But yeah, you probably have a million of these lying around anyway. But yeah, looks like the Wii is powerful enough to run it. So at least this version. I assume the other one's the same. But anyway, I guess that'll do it now for this video. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. And yeah, thanks for watching. Yeah, link for this stuff in the description. I doubt they still make these specific component cables, but I'll try to find some other ones that seem like they're pretty good quality, good reviews. Leave a link for those in the description as well. Or if you just have any Wii component cables, are probably fine. Anyway, yeah, guess we'll talk to you later. Thanks.